Morning. It's Friday, April 5th. I eat eggs twice a week. I love them, and I always buy jumbo eggs at the meat farm store. But I have noticed that in the last couple of weeks, the price of eggs has gone up significantly. About a month ago, they were $2.99 a dozen, and the other day I paid $3.99 a dozen. And I wasn't really paying attention because I like the eggs and it's not a big deal. But then I read this morning that the cost of eggs has gone up because there has been an outbreak of bird flu. So if that bothers any of you and you're worried about the eggs you buy, don't buy them. But I'm prepared to continue buying them and continue to pay the rising price within some reasonable number. But I remember the last time we had an egg shortage and the price of eggs was like $5 or $6 a dozen. So right now at $3.99 I'm content. And now I have some other stuff to talk about. You know, we humans are a very outstanding group on the planet Earth. And there are many things that we have accomplished in the centuries that we have existed. But there is still one thing that we cannot overcome. There is one thing that we cannot control, and that is the weather. And the weather comes in many different forms. Snowstorms for those people who live in the colder climates. Rainstorms in various parts of the world. And then there are the deadly volcanic eruptions. So while we exist, there are things that are beyond our control. And I often wonder why many of the people in this universe live and stay in areas where there is danger. There are volcanoes that erupt. But today I want to talk about an earthquake, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake that struck the island of Taiwan. It stranded over 600 people on the eastern end of the island, and it killed at least 9 people. And there were more than 1,000 people injured in the quake. And the quake also caused landslides. And at least 42 other people are missing. And these are stats that were given out by Taiwan's National Fire Agency. And the quake was followed by strong aftershocks, including a 6.4 magnitude tremor. So multiple aftershocks as strong as magnitude 7 are expected to continue for several more days. So imagine you're stuck on the island. You have no place to go, and the island is going to shake at between a 6 or 7 point measurement for maybe 6 or 7 more days. That's Mother Nature at its best or absolute worst. This is not the only thing that occurs in incidents like this. We had a gentleman who owned a liquor store and explained that all my goods and all my supply and all my supplies were destroyed. And my mind has gone blank seeing that all of my life's work has vanished. The shops that have been operating for over a decade are gone in one morning. It's extremely painful to see. But people are safe, so that's a fortunate thing. But what am I going to do now to repair everything? How is that going to happen? And that's only one incident. Think of how many people are affected in this particular way. Their jobs disappear. Their businesses disappear. And then, of course, the loss of life and the illness that occurs, the damage to people's bodies and brains. How long will it take for those people to recover in Taiwan? I don't know. I don't think anybody can predict the future right now. Right now, the job is to clean up the mess and get everybody the medical and mental help that they need. So while they mentally have to adjust, they must recognize that in some regards they were extremely lucky, because the death toll was low relative to the number of injured. So while they were lucky in some respects, there's still a lot of work to be done. There are many people stranded in a quarry in Hulane, and we have to figure out how to reach them and get those people out of there, because that area is surrounded by mountain gorges, and that's a very popular tourist and hiker destination. So they don't know how many people are stranded in that area. Now, so far they have rescued 64 people stranded in a different quarry, and they were safely evacuated. But if you looked at the place, there were rocks and debris across all of the trails that were leading to that particular site. So I can't imagine huge stones flying and settling on the highways and the pathways in the streets. It's got to be a horrible experience. One person described the scene as having too many rocks like bullets falling from above. And we didn't know where to run. We were scared. And a worker who was rescued from an open-air mine told of there were people trapped in minibuses, and there were people trapped in roads, in valleys, in gorges, and there were employees of a particular hotel that were on a bus traveling to work, and they couldn't get there. They were trapped, but 3 of them managed to leave and hike and told the authorities where they were trapped. So it was a nightmare. And then when you saw the pictures of the buildings in the city that were leaning and looked like they were liable to fall any minute, how can people survive such an event? But they do, and they will, and they suck it up, and they're going to work very hard to get Taiwan back into livable shape again. But it's not going to be easy, and they're going to need lots and lots of help from the outside world. So there are many who are probably worried about the continuing strike, so to speak. But they will end, and then people will have the terribly hard work ahead of them to get their island back in shape. And I wonder how many people are going to worry about their future, because I think that if you're living in a situation like that, it will take a lot of time to recover from this incident. But I wish them well, and I wish them good luck. And remember always that Mother Nature is the one thing that man cannot control. Have a great day. Bye.